I'd love to get your 2 cents on the Philadelphia Eagles. Biggest head scratcher for me is what in the world happened from the beginning of December on. What's your analysis of what took the Philadelphia Eagles from 10-1 all the way to hardly winning a game and one and done?
I didn't recognize the team. I didn't. It was bizarre. I can't remember a year like this where you've had a team that was rolling like that. And I know some people were saying, wow, they're winning some of these close games. I remember seeing tweets, this is the worst 10-1 team that I've ever seen because they've played so many close games. And at the time, I was sitting there thinking, okay, you know what? They're just biding their time to get to the postseason. Just stack the wins. It doesn't matter about beauty points, and they'll kind of get it figured out and get it rolling. And then it never happened. And, the word trust just came to me when I was watching them. Like, there just doesn't seem to be any trust. And I don't know if that's trust in your fellow players, if that's, trust in your coaches or the scheme or the play call or what it is. But when you're changing course mid-year on the defensive side of the ball, they never got that figured out. There's way too much talent for them to be that bad. And to be honest with you, just looked disinterested, especially in that game against Tampa. It was an atrocious tackling performance. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know how the heck you can go from where they were last year, looking like they had the best roster in the NFL and just barely missing a championship, to come back and play like they played last night. I just used the word unrecognizable, Rich. I didn't know what that was.
But how does that happen? I don't understand how it happens.
Well, you lose both coordinators, and that they talked about that on the broadcast a lot. That's a big deal. You had some guys who got a little older. But to be honest, I'm watching the game last night, and two of the oldest guys were two of the best players on the field. Kelsey's still playing at a high level. Brandon Graham's still getting a bunch of pressure. Fletcher Cox was active. I don't know. It is a mystery. I don't even know how to explain it.
So then how does it work in a building after something like this happens? How does the evaluation go down? How does an owner get involved? I mean, what's your best guess through that prism, what's happening in Philadelphia?
Well, they have to have an honest conversation, and they will. And having worked in that building, and I think Jeffrey Lurie is one of the best owners in the NFL. I think Howie's one of the best GMs in the NFL. I think they'll take their time here. They'll evaluate the situation. There's going to be, I would imagine, massive changes, at whether or not that goes all the way up to the head coach. I don't know, but I would imagine you're probably going to see two new coordinators. You're going to see a whole new, scheme brought in there. And then they have to have the conversation, okay, with this group of veterans that we have, that we were kind of one last ride, is it time to really kind of, usher in a new era and move on from a lot of guys, some of which still have some football left in them? That's going to have to be a really, really honest conversation.
And what would you ascribe the Dallas Cowboys having yet another playoff disaster befall them? What's your analysis there, Daniel?
They just play so tight in the playoffs, man. It's just and you say it sounds generic, but they just haven't handled pressure. Like they are winning these games in the regular season. They're stacking these 12-win seasons because they have enough players. They're good at the key positions. The only way I can explain it is just they get absolutely crushed by pressure. And once that first touchdown that they were down turned into the second one, and then the next, you could just feel them suffocating while you're watching that. So, whether or not, again, we see a head coaching change or not, they've got to find a way to be more loose when they get to the postseason, because that's about as tight of a team as I've seen.
So when how do you do that? I don't know. I don't know. Ayahuasca? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think you probably less cold tub and more jacuzzi. I don't know. It's got to be, try everything.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.